Dr. Hanan Albuflasa, welcome to this Woman This Month show. You, of course, are the Women in Science, Technology, Engineering and Math winner for the Woman of the Year Awards 2024. Congratulations on that.
Thank you very much.
What does it mean to you?
Oh, wow. It is interesting because having to win an award, this is just the beginning. It's not actually something that will mark your achievement, because the minute you get an award, you know that now you are the role model for the others and have to sustain that. And it pushes you to a different level of actually achievements that you have to do. This is what I felt. I was like, all right, I have to be really up to this award and do more. Yeah.
Bahrain has very few experts in the field of sustainability and renewable energy. You're an exception to that, and you're a woman. What does that mean to you, and how has that developed?
Oh, that's interesting, because I'll be honest with you, I did not choose to be in the renewable energy. Actually, I have been encouraged, and I can put between brackets pushed to. I was always dreaming of being an astronaut. This is all the children, I think. They want to be an astronaut. Everyone wants to be an astronaut. But I wanted to study astronomy. But at that time, the University of Penfield felt like, well, we don't have someone who's specialized in renewable energy. So you will be the one who's going to go and study. So I have done my master and PhD in renewable energy. I came back as the first one to be actually got a degree in that field. So I'll be honest, it is interesting. And this is something I always tell my students. Sometimes life takes you to a different direction that you think it's not your direction, but actually you can be the one and you can do a lot in it. And this is what I have done in my specialization in renewable energy. And I'm so grateful to everyone who have actually pushed me into this direction.
Fantastic. Of your projects and advancements you've been involved with, which is the one that you're most proud of?
I have so many, but the one I'm really, really proud of it is that I have managed to get a fund, a research fund with the UK, and that as part of the UK Gulf Institutional Link. The reason I'm proud of, for two things. First, there was 148 applications, and only 8 won through the whole GCC, and my project was one of them. So having to go through this is really great. The other thing is, this project actually put the foundation for the renewable energy in Bahrain, in terms of we need at that time labs which will give the industry the exact data that they can actually build on, and to develop labs that will test the systems in Bahrain. So having to establish these labs, which is 4 labs in total, was the achievement which came out from the collaboration between the UK and the GCC institutional link.
How do you assess Bahrain's position on becoming a low carbon economy?
It's a challenge. I think it's a challenge for all the countries who announce that they will go for a net zero carbon emission by a specific time. 2060, we think that it is maybe very far, but it's not really. Every year we have to do a step ahead in order to get to this target. That it's good because there is at the leadership level commitment toward the environment and toward the net zero carbon emission. And I think that has pushed every, I will not say only the government sector, but also the private sector to really work together in order to proceed with that. And I was involved somehow in the projects around Bahrain, and I'll tell you that the private sector is moving very fast and really integrating renewable energy, and specifically solar energy, into the system. And this is very amazing. And we are leading now the Gulf, and I can say this very proudly, and I know what I'm talking about. We are leading in the rooftop solar in the Gulf region.
What do you think are Bahrain's greatest opportunities in renewable energy is concerned? Is it solar? Is it wind? Is it?
Yeah. Solar, definitely, for sure. Waste, definitely.
Why has solar not been utilized in Bahrain up till now? It's only in the last few years that I know that solar plants in Bahrain being established, but But it was ignored for so many decades. Why was that?
So in the whole GCC region, I mean, if you will look at the natural gas cost and solar, is not comparable. The only when we started changing the tariff in Bahrain, especially for the private sector and non-Bahrainis, then that is this discussion started.
Yes.
And you will see that why I'm saying that most of the private companies are the ones, or big organizations are the ones are going for that, because it's more feasible for them to go for it, rather than, for example, those residential houses who are subsidized and you're paying nothing, just 3 fils, and you can convert this to the dollars, which is nothing really. And why I would put solar, unless if I have an environmental really, sense of responsibility, I will go for it. But we have to do a lot in terms of the government initiatives in order to make this even an attractive option. I'm not talking about that changing the tariffs to the residential, because I don't want people to be now waiting for me outside. It's just about, we have to find a way of how to handle this really. So that is why solar was struggling. But we have to be careful here also. Yes, we have a lot of sun, but we have a lot of sand and dust. We have a lot of heat. We have a lot of humidity. This is beautifully 3 ingredients that will make a beautiful cement on the solar panels. So we need also research centers who are actually going to deal with that, because otherwise we're going to use a lot of water to clean them. But anyway, with solar definitely is a topic. As I mentioned, waste, and waste is ignored in most of the countries, and waste is the available sources of renewable energy to everyone, because we always going to produce waste even if we tried. And wastewater, definitely. Okay, if we're going to stop those solid waste, but not the wastewater. And the thing is wind. And why I'm keeping wind at the end of this discussion, because most of the people, they will consider that we don't have wind, right? We do. We do have wind. We have a good potential of also offshore wind. That I hope that what we will see in the future is actually wind contributing to our renewable energy mix.
Fantastic. Thank you for that very concise, interesting response to that question. Women in STEM are notoriously underrepresented in general. Could you just give us an idea of what challenges you faced getting into the industry, and what you would advise young women who have an interest in the sector to do in order to get involved?
This is a strange thing, because when you look at the university, for example, the percentage of the women in science as students is higher than the male. And you would, looking at this percentage, you would expect that the experts should be the same.
Yeah.
But the thing is to be an expert, you have to break barriers a little bit. First, one very important barrier is the postgraduate studies.
Yes.
So we want more students, more female students, to pursue the postgraduate studies. It's strange, but even the type of female students who are joining the College of Science or Engineering, or maybe engineering is a little bit different, but the College of Science in particular, they are not really looking at going and pursuing the postgraduates. That's very important challenge. Then, to be again an expert for men or women, you have to go beyond even yourself, in terms of you have to have a good networking. You have to collaborate with internationally and nationally, so to be an expert. And I think you can imagine, if you are a woman with the specific background, or you don't feel like you can actually do this huge networking, you will be struggling at that. So with keeping the culture, keeping your thing that you have still wants to hold, and still how you can do this without losing them, and you feel like you are contradicting yourself. So I think we have to do research about that more. I feel like we can do that later.
Absolutely. Yes. So you're now a full-time academic.
Of course.
Yes, and how much of research is involved in your academic activity?
A lot. At the moment, of course, as I mentioned, I have 4 labs that I'm taking care of, plus consultations I'm doing. But I am also part of the EU Horizon 2020 project, which is a 4 years project of 10 million euros. And that involved 19 organizations from the European mission and from the GCC and 3 from the GCC. So that is just one of the projects I'm involved with.
A final, more general question.
Mm.
In your opinion, what are the most pressing issues facing women today, especially in Bahrain? And how can you contribute to improving that lot?
You know, the problem with this question is the problem is I feel sometimes that we have over-empowered in Bahrain.
Over-empowered.
Yes.
Okay.
But, so we are everywhere. We are leading. But we are not represented in a way that we are always playing or working behind the stage and not in front of the stage, unless if you are, of course, at a higher position, like you are a management and executive management. This is definitely. But I'm talking about the others. They're doing a lot of work, but they have to be in the front. They have to be seen, really.
Dr. Hanan, what was the response to your winning the award?
Actually, after I won the award, I received a call from the organizers of the COP16 in Riyadh, and I was already invited to be a speaker in one of the initiatives they had. And they were saying, okay, congratulations for winning the award. And I was really, really surprised. And when I reached there, and before me going to the stage, they also announced to everyone that I have just won the Women Award, and that was amazing, honestly, that they are following and they were keen really to announce it even in Riyadh. Yeah.
So when did they actually let you know that they knew that you'd won the award?
Immediately, like an hour after the.
Okay, so I think the award was actually live fed through.
Yeah, so I was really surprised, and I was very busy in the celebration, and I was having fun with my friends.
Yes.
But then when I was like picking my phone, I was like, oh my God, I have a message about the award. So that was amazing. Yeah.
Dr. Hanan, Woman in STEM Award winner for the Woman of the Year Awards 2024. Thank you so much for coming to join us.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.